If you're an agency owner or do organic marketing, you understand that when budgets get tight, your clients look at you as one of the first people to cut because your marketing efforts do not directly translate to dollars in their pocket. And they look at that and they say, you know what, we can do without this guy. And that used to be me. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to go from disposable to irreplaceable. And yes, you might be saying organic content is great, organic marketing is great. However, clients don't see the translation from views to ultimate money in their pocket. And because of that, they cut you. And now you're left scrambling and wondering what you're going to do. And your agency has a high churn rate, and then you're again scrambling looking for clients. And if you're wondering who I am, my name is Gary Frater. I've managed content for some of the biggest creators on the planet: Mike Tyson, Brendan Schaub, Steven Crowder, Mark Sanchez, and a ton of other celebrities. And now I run my own content agency and basically teach you everything I learned along the way. And I used to be like you, completely overwhelmed that I was constantly going to be dropped, until I realized these few things that I'm about to lay out in this video for you. And after you watch this video, you'll have a very good understanding as to how to become irreplaceable and how to provide so much value to your clients that they can't fathom not having you in their business. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Here's the truth that most agency owners avoid. Nobody cares about how hard you work or how many deliverables you're providing or, you know, how good your resume is or your past clients. At the end of the day, the only thing the client cares about is either more revenue, more leads, or more appointments booked, or social media growth. They basically care about the only thing that they care about, which is the result that you can provide for them, the result that they want you to provide for them. And the issue with organic content is the fact that you can't predict any of that. You can put out an awesome post and even search up and spend hours searching on TikTok, you know, the best performing content in your client's niche, and then having them recreate that. And while yes, that could perform well and some might flop, you're just basically a slave to the algorithm, and you're reliant on the algorithm pushing your content, as opposed to having a predictable way to scale. And that is ultimately what clients pay for. They pay for predictability. You know, when they hire a fitness coach, they want to get into shape. They want to lose 20 pounds in 2 months. They're basically paying for a guaranteed way to lose that weight. They can go out and try to do it on their own, but that's going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and they are going to have to go through a bunch of learning curves, and they just want to skip all that. They want to have a streamlined way of getting to the result that they want, which is exactly why they bring you on. And let me give you a story and an example. So when I first launched Frater Media with my brother, we moved to the Middle East, an island called Cyprus. So I quit my six-figure job and basically built out Frater Media with my brother. And while we're building our content agency, one of the first clients we've ever gotten was a CEO of a tech company. He paid us $5,000 to manage his social media. And it was the first time where it really clicked for me, where I was like, wow, I can get 3 of these people paying me $5,000, and that's way more money than I'll ever make, you know, at a job, or at least it would take me a very long time to get there. The way I pitched them was, I have all this experience and we'll be able to grow your social media. It was super vague, but we're going to take over your personal brand. And this was my first person, by the way, working with that wasn't famous. And so this was a very, very interesting experience, because for Mike Tyson, I mean, he could take a shit in a bucket and then that's gonna explode on social. But somebody that's a normal person, it's going to take a lot more work and it'd be a lot harder. And I didn't even realize that. And so anyway, we're managing his social media. We're managing his LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the platforms that you can imagine. And after the first month, I was like, wait a second. Like, we're not seeing any growth. And the way that we would film these videos is on Riverside. So he would just be sitting in a chair and just giving me his thoughts. And it would be like, it wasn't even like good quality, maybe 1080p, but I don't even know. It wasn't even that. It was just wasn't a good product. That being said, there were still a few videos throughout our 6 months of working together that went viral, right? I think it was 1 or 2 that hit over 200,000 views. Even one of them hit 1 million views on LinkedIn. It was one of our last posts working together. The point is, after the 6 months were done, we were the first people that he cut as soon as he needed to allocate more money into the business, because we weren't directly tying into revenue or his client acquisition system or just feeding into his business. We were just there as the personal brand people. And the truth is he didn't lose much by cutting us. And it was a very eye-opening experience for us, for my brother and I, as we just launched our content agency. And we were like, wow, this is really difficult. Like, this guy had us for 6 months. He paid a ton of money and he got no return out of it. He literally had no growth from it, like no measurable growth. It was maybe a few thousand followers and a few hundred on some other platforms, but it was a really big kick in the nuts for us, where we were like, can we even do this? And it was until we realized that we were making a really big mistake that actually changed the course of how we do business today. And there was really 2 things that changed inside of our business, and that is our offer structure as well as implementing paid ads. You see, the thing that we realized with organic content is the fact that we just couldn't control, anything. Like we were just beholden to the algorithm. And with paid ads, we were able to predictably drive whatever result we wanted for the client. And so now we don't even work with a client that doesn't have a budget for paid ads, whether that's they want more leads inside of their business, more appointments booked, they want social media growth. We can do that through paid ads. We can do that through Meta, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and we just need a few handful of really good posts that the client did that had even a little bit of traction, and we put money behind that. We capture emails, phone numbers from our potential prospects and followers. We sell them on high ticket offers, low ticket offers. All of these things are now something that the client can tie revenue to. They're like, okay, this is generating money, or at least this is stepping closer to generating money, as opposed to just selling a vague offer, which again goes back to the first point of we also changed our offer up, where now it's not vague. It's not selling 20 social media assets per month. This is how can we directly either grow your email list, it really just depends on what the client wants as their goals, and we can make that happen. We can structure the offer in a way that actually provides the client with the desired result that they want, and the way that we do that predictably is with paid ads. So have a better offer in the sense that it's very, very concrete, where, we take business coaches making $15,000 to $20,000 a month, and we book them 20 predictable calls on their calendar every single week with qualified people. That is something that people would pay for, right? As opposed to, hey, we'll grow your social media and we'll build your personal brand. That is not good enough. That is not sexy enough for somebody to spend money on. So those two things have really transformed our business. And like I said, now we don't even work with clients that do not have that budget. And back in the day, I used to take on everybody and anybody. And what I realized is the clients that were paying like $1,000, they weren't seeing the results that they wanted because they didn't have the resources that we couldn't provide them with what they wanted. Like if they're paying $1,000, I got to pay a video editor, a graphic designer. I have a whole team managing, their content. And if they're paying $1,000, I can get them 3 posts, and those 3 posts are not going to transform to the goals that they ultimately want. So I got rid of low-paying clients. We implemented an offer structure that was way more concrete, and then we implemented paid ads. If you guys have never ran paid ads in your life before and don't want to hire somebody else to do that, well, I created a video. You can click it somewhere on screen here. It's 2 stupid simple ways on how to run paid ads and how to run follower ads. This is something that you can implement to significantly increase your value as far as a marketing agency if you're helping them gain followers without just relying simply on the algorithms. So this is what's worked for me, and I'll end on this. The agencies that get left behind in 2026 are competing on effort and on price, okay? Those 2 things do not matter to a client. Instead, you need to make sure that you own the outcomes and really say, this is what we're going to deliver for you. And you also figure out how to tie in your social efforts or your marketing efforts and budget to actual revenue. That right there is going to completely transform your business. If you guys want me to dive deeper into any of these topics, please comment below. My name is Gary Frater. All I'm doing on my YouTube channel is scaling my agency and teaching everything I learned along the way to the people behind me. So if you find anything in here valuable, book a call with me down below if you're interested in working one-on-one with me, or if you have any comments or want me to cover a certain topic on this channel, drop it also in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.